Welcome to our What's New in Business Central Wave 2 webinar. I am Marie. I'll be your presenter today. I'm Client Advantage Manager at Rux. That means that I manage delivery teams and the help desk and support teams. And today we're going to go over new enhancements and improvements that are available in Business Central version 27. That version is already available for your environments, and you can update from your admin center. As a reminders, improvements and new features often come from partner and user submissions to Microsoft. So you can submit ideas through the Microsoft Dynamics 365 Ideas portal that you can find at this address. If you do submit an idea, let us know so we can share it and also upvote it. And if you're looking for Business Central resources, I have a new link for you, and it is the link to bookmark. So you will find all resources linked under one page, from hot topics to documentation to links to social and blogs for Microsoft and Business Central, so you can stay up to date and find the information you need for your solution. So the link is aka.ms/bcusers, and it regroups all resources. So today we're going to have two portions. First, we're going to go directly to Business Central, and then we'll also review additional information about new features available in this release. So there are a lot of enhancements in this release wave and in the upcoming one that will be related to Copilot and agent capability in Business Central. The first one I want to look at is the summarize option. So there are enhancements to the summarize feature in Business Central, where you can look at a summary of information around records. You would use that on customers and vendors mainly, and it helps you understand the current state of your data and getting the information that you need to be able, for example, to lead a call with a customer. So instead of navigating through the cards and the entries to get information, Copilot will work for you to provide information on, say, customer balances, their habits, the sales, their payment behavior. It is currently supported with 20 more languages that were added, and there will be additional support for currency information and conversion in a next update that's upcoming. Copilot can also help with data entry now. So I'm creating a new customer here, and I'm going to use Copilot to assist me. I'm going to use my friends at Cosmos Data Tech as an example, as their information is public. So when I create a new customer, you see that I have this little sparkle here. Copilot can suggest values and information. So I know they're in the US and in Oregon, so I'll help Copilot a little bit. Note that this feature is in preview. It's a little slower, and also I'm working from a sandbox, but you see that the feature will go and search through the web for publicly available information to help me fill out my card with information such as contact info, phone number, email, homepage, and additional info. So we recommend you try out those features that are in preview so that you can test them out and then also provide feedback. So here I have a suggestion for an address, and I could have additional information. I can review what is suggested, and I can keep the selected content. You can also confirm the accuracy, which teaches Copilot to find better answers and to map fields properly. This feature is available on customer cards, but also on vendor cards. I have to keep the suggestions on vendor cards and various areas in the system. Now, a fun one that I know I like. So the Tell Me feature commonly called search that you find under this button here. When you search in it, say I search for value, it will find any occurrence of the word value in the system and then display those options. If you use the advanced feature that uses Copilot and search for value, you go from a text search, so searching for specific words, to a more contextual search. So by value, you might be meaning you're looking for valuation information or information related to your inventory or other items in the system. What it will do is find that information. You see that it finds dimensions because I might be thinking of dimension values. So it will point you in the right direction, but in a broader sense, so that you spend less time trying to find the exact wording to find what you need in the search, and so that you don't have to navigate through menus and dig deep and click around to find the information you need. So you can try that new experience using the Advanced tab under the Search or Tell Me function in the system. You can use enhanced analysis also with Copilot. So by describing what you want to the system, you can find information and quickly get insights instead of spending time to build analysis views and clicking to get things done. For example, you could ask it to show you your vendors by location, sorted by amounts and purchases. You can also use the feature to identify which vendors are tagged to each of your warehouses and who are your suppliers per warehouse. I'm using the item list here as an example, and I'm going to create a new analysis. So to enter analysis mode, you toggle the mode from your item list, and then you can create new analysis. You can ask Copilot to assist, and your Copilot button is here to create a new analysis. So I'll ask it, for example, to show items by brand and unit of measure. So you use a natural language. You don't need to know the programmation. You don't necessarily need to know the exact wording or fields you're looking for. You can feed the information to Copilot, who will then create an analysis view based on what you requested, which is exactly what I'm getting here. I am getting the beans per unit of measure. So it's my brand here. It's called beans because it's coffee. And I have all my items. To this, I can add additional fields, and I can add them from the items, so my current source, but also, that's new, related tables. So I can go and get information from fields that are related to the item. So a field, say, on the vendor card, or fields on the units of measure to get additional information. So I could add more columns to that view. The view stays saved. As you see, I tested prior to this call, and then you can refresh it and use it again. The one that is very useful, I find, is this one. You can ask it to show you your low stock items. Let's go by category. And that will generate a list of items that are low stock. In my environment, low stock is 0 because the other items are very well stocked because it's demo data. In your environments, you would see a bit more variability, but you see here that I'm out of coffee and I need to buy more. I also need chairs if I want to be able to sell them to my customers. In that view, I could go and add columns on the item to show the quantity on hand, or my units of measure, the vendor information, so I can have a quick view and then review the items and take action on them. This is available on most list views, so items, customers, the posted invoices, any view that looks like a table will have this analysis feature. Then we have an enhancement to purchase orders or purchase invoices. It's available on both. You can create multiple fixed assets from posting a transaction. So instead of, if I buy, say, computers, instead of creating all the cards manually, I can select my main information. I'll use equipment. Depreciation, I'll start it today for 3 years. And say I buy 10 computers. I have a new field that's called number of fixed asset cards. I want 10 because I don't want to bundle them. I want to track the individual ones. Currently, I know many of you may create just one fixed asset card because you would have to create 10 cards manually. Now, you can have the system create those for you. So I'm posting my purchase invoice, which means I am receiving my laptops. And if I go to my fixed assets, you will see that I now have 10 computers. I can go and open the cards or import information such as the serial number for the computer or the specific identifier or person it is assigned to, but I do not need to go through the creation of, 10 or it could be 200 cards all at once. It will now do this automatically when I post the invoice, when I select my information. Let's move back here. There are important improvements to the Shopify integration. If you're using the Shopify connector, you know that it captures limited information about the customer. Well, that's about to change because the sell to and the bill to will now be captured. So the information coming from Shopify will translate into Business Central transactions. You can also tag salespeople so they can be assigned in Shopify, and it will reflect in Business Central when you do your when you run the integration and transactions get created. There are new pricing options to handle currency and currency conversion and specific price lists for markets in Shopify. So that's tied to the prices in Business Central. There are new options also to improve traceability and reviewing and troubleshooting transactions coming from the connector. So there will be different levels of logging so that you can review refunds, product creation, the fields and archived sales orders, order totals between Shopify and Business Central orders will also be tracked. There are more improvements. The main one, if you're using Shopify, might be that there will now be settings so that the connector can archive process Shopify orders once they get posted in Business Central, so that your Shopify orders list remains clean and archives the fully fulfilled and paid orders as you process transactions. Copilot again. 2 new features are released. This one is no longer in preview and is generally available. It is the sales order agent. The sales order agent, once configured, can capture requests from email attachments. So that means that customers emailing a specific address and mailbox that is set up to receive orders or quote requests can now get the information from the emails, from order forms that might be attached, recognize customer information and the items they're requesting, and create sales orders or sales quotes inside of Business Central. You, of course, provide input to guide the sales order agent and give it instructions. You can follow, as we see on the screen here, the steps it's taking to create an order, and you can validate the data. There is obviously no posting happening, so you still review the orders and process them as usual, but you save on time and sometimes data entry errors by having the sales order agent work for you and create your transactions in the system. There is a similar agent that is currently in preview mode, so you can enable it from the feature management for Copilot inside of Business Central, and is the payables agent. So the payables agent can grab PDF invoices from a designated mailbox, capture that invoice information. It can create new vendors, again, with the guidance we saw for the sales order agent and instructions you can provide. And it shows you its reasoning and its processing. So that one is in preview and will be fully released in a next wave. That release is packed. There are additional features in several areas. There is a new framework to calculate excise tax. So value-added tax, sales tax was supported. Excise tax is now added so that you can properly capture that information on transactions. So that will be especially beneficial to manufacturers and retailers who include these taxes in their product pricing. So now the information will be there captured for reporting. The reporting side will come at a later release, but the framework for the calculations will be included in this release. Sometimes when you have entries or transactions you want to process for employees, you want to record a transaction to a different posting group or GL account than the one that is the default. So the default might be set for payables. You might want an alternative posting group for a receivable transaction, for example. Well, this is now possible for employees, so there's an option to set up alternative posting groups. This is already available for customers and vendors. There is a revamped Word add-in to work with report layouts in Word. So many of you create your own report layouts or modify them. The Word add-in is improved to help you insert data items and repeaters and making your report creation faster and more intuitive. So there's a new tree structure so that you can navigate more easily. You can manage data, the captions, and there is also now tooltips, so information and assistance included with the add-in so that you can manage your reports more easily. Drill back, we're used to drill down in Business Central where we have a number, we click on it to see the details of an entry. We now have drill back and dynamic dimension names in the Power BI apps. That means that if you look at a Business Central Power BI dashboard and you want to go back to the Business Central data that builds the figure you're looking at, you will be able to do so. So that will be directly available on some readily available Power BI dashboards and can also be included when you create your own apps in Power BI or dashboards. The dynamic dimension names, instead of having, the bland global dimension 1, 2, shortcut 3, 4, you can now actually display the assigned name for the dimension in Power BI. That also becomes available. There are additional enhancements to reports, yes, but also pages with the introduction of masked fields to protect specific data types. For example, on employee cards, you might want to capture their social security number. And you don't want all the numbers to be visible for people who just open the card. Well, the mask field, while it's not a blocker or security control, will hide the number with little stars. And then you have to click on it. There's a little eye icon. You click on it to see the actual data on the field. So that's a property that can be set on specific fields and might be included in the future for some fields already tagged as sensitive. Then a ton of new reports. That might be the most important one, and the enhancement people are requesting the most. There are now deferral reporting enhancements, enhanced financial reporting with additional options directly inside of Business Central. There are enhanced Power BI apps that are readily available. So those are the Power BI apps for Business Central by Microsoft, and modernized standard Business Central reports for finance, inventory, projects, manufacturing, purchasing, and sales, also fixed assets. So it's either additional reports or existing reports that have new fields available, or layouts that are enhanced or optimized to include information that people were requesting. So you should see those, and we'll see those once you update to Business Central version 27. Again, this version is already available in the Admin Center. We recommend you update your sandboxes first before you plan out your update of production. We have a couple minutes, which we always try to do, so that people can put questions in the chat and I can address them. If I do not have the answer, I will look it up and then get back to you outside of this session. The session, as you know, was recorded, and that recording will also be available. We'll get it published, and you will have access to it should you want to refer to it or share it with your team members. I'll hang around for a couple minutes. You can put questions or comments in the chat or in the Q&A section in Teams. Someone is asking, what's the feedback on the new changes? So we've seen a couple customers already updating the environment, and of course we've been playing with the release in preview. Feedback is positive. So while the Copilot features are exciting, I think what people are excited about the most are the additional reports and options, the analysis mode with the Copilot query, because that's really useful to build some ad hoc reporting, but also reporting you can come back to that's readily available in Business Central, and the fixed assets. So being able to create multiple cards by just posting one invoice, that's really useful. I see people are trickling out, and I think we might not have any more questions. Oh, have the sandbox links been sent out? So you have two options here. If you are self-managing your updates, you can create a brand new sandbox. We recommend you do so. You can do that by copying your production environment. So you or your admin would be able to do that for you. You can also reach out to us if you need assistance to do that. And then you can update that sandbox. If you're on the update protection program, which is Rux managing the updates for you, Then the update cycle will start later this week with the creation of new sandboxes and their update in the next weeks. So we will wrap up in a couple seconds. Thank you all for your time. You can reach out to us either through the help desk or for general questions, you can always email hi@rocksoftware.com and we will get back to you. You have a good day.